Hello and welcome to How to Be a Movie Snob. Oscar Watch 2026. Wah, 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 wah.
Sunday.
Super sentimental conversation.
Zoom.
I have daddy issues. Okay, guys, we're on Oscar Watch 2026, and this is after the nominations. So guess what? We're actually picking the correct movies. That's right.
From here on out, they're on the list.
We were shooting in the dark. We got a few of them correct. We got a few of them wrong. But you know what? Now we know what movies
important.
they are. No, and tonight we are doing the most, the biggest, the fastest, the most surprising Best Picture nomination of the year, by far.
Yep.
This little low-budget indie film.
Cool 300 mil.
Cool 300 mil by this little no-name company, no-name tech company, bringing this actor out of nowhere, practically a no-name crew.
Brand new sport.
Yep, a producer who's never produced a big box office movie before, with a real low-budget group of camera workers that did other low-budget superstar movies. Anyways, I can't even handle anymore. What the F are we talking about, Mariah?
F1. Numero uno of the Fs.
Oh!
I don't know if you had your bingo card out.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not sad we get to talk about this movie because as the resident Formula One fan, I have been waiting to whine about this movie for so long, and there was no time.
Now he has a soapbox.
Now I have a whole soapbox. I'm so excited. Pat, who produced this little indie flick?
One Jerry Bruckheimer.
The one, the only, Jerry Bruckheimer. Sunday. And who's the little no-name star who brought this bad boy to fruition?
I believe his name is Brad Pite?
Bradley Pite.
Yes.
Bradley Pite. Oh
Brad
my
Pitt.
gosh. Who also produced it, by the way.
Well, sure.
Along with Sir Lewis Hamilton and a
When you're
gaggle
this
of
old,
others.
you should be a producer
You should
on all
definitely
the
be a
rest of your
producer.
movies.
Brad Pitt also starring. You want to give me the rest, Pat, or you want me to roll it off for you?
Damson Idris, Javier Bardem,
Yes.
Carrie Condon, and more.
And more. Carrie, I love it because Carrie's in a lot of like snobby movies too, so it's kind of fun to see her like do a big stuff.
She's great.
It's kind of fun. Guys, this is made by Apple. This is unapologetically made by Apple. There's so many this is like an Apple and Sony ad when you think about how they filmed this thing. I've seen so many behind the scenes of how they rebuilt all these cameras with like Apple phones and Sony Venice sensors with like it's this crazy technological amazingness.
Camera nerd paradise.
It is camera nerd paradise. But before we get to all that, guys, we like to start with a little thing we call cold brews and hot takes. Oh, and my cold brew is the winter beer. Actually, I don't even have one that doesn't. I should have got like the most expensive beer that's okay. You know what I mean? That's what the beer would have been. Like whatever's the most expensive beer you can buy.
Does the
The
job.
one you can drink the fastest.
That's pretty good. It's fine. Here's the thing. F1 the movie is a rich man's Days of Thunder. And I don't mean that as a compliment.
I mean, it's kind of accurate.
Yeah.
Fun fact, this was maybe going to be a sequel.
Oh my goodness. It is almost exactly the same, except that Brad Pitt plays both Tom Cruise and Robert Duvall, which is a little confusing for this one. We'll talk about that a little bit, but I'm like, are you the wise old sage or are you you can't be the young rebel, but you seem to be more of a rebel than the young rebel. So what is going on right now? Anyways, that's my not so hot take. This is a rich man Days of Thunder. There we go. Okay, who's up next, y'all?
I got a real good one.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to.
Can't wait.
All right, so I got it's a big run-on thought. My hot take is brought to you by, again, Bodhisattva. But it's got like racing flames.
Oh, nice, Pat. That's
on the
good.
can.
That's
So
good.
basically, it's great for
Practically.
this. Formula One, more like sports movie Formula One, or
Next.
it's Bull Durham with cars, or
Maverick on the ground.
reverse Legend of Bagger Vance, also with cars.
Oh gosh.
Or is this
There
what
you
Billy
go.
Bean did after he took over the athletics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know what he
Any
did
and all-
before his baseball career.
Any other sports movie with cars is kind of a description of this movie.
And I was
Because it works. It
and-
works.
And it's Brad Pitt being Brad Pitt because I'm like, man, Billy Bean knows how to drive a car. After that baseball thing didn't work out, I'm glad he just jumped into that race car and just started racing. Oh,
So sorry
great.
to follow that, Mariah.
That's great. Well, this is in the same vein anyway of what everyone's saying, but my cold brew is a Lagunitas because it's
classic.
delicious. And my hot take is that you could sleep from after the first 5 minutes to the last 5 minutes and know exactly what happened. There is no. If you want a good nap and you could still come out of the end
great.
going, oh, wasn't it great?
Oh, so
When
good.
the young
loud
rookie
nap.
challenges the old guy and he has sex with the girl and
See, this is
and he's been hiding an
Formula.
injury and
Oh,
no
my
way.
goodness. This is the thing that kills me though. Like, it's supposed to be the young guy that has sex with the girl.
Is there like a
Not the
sports
old,
movie
decrepit guy.
manual that this guy has
They
been
cut-
holding on to, and they just
100%.
keep inserting new names and new sports,
ain't broke. Oh my
and
gosh.
new
Ew.
rookies and new
By the
love
way,
interests?
Oh, they-
yeah, have you watched Days
Yeah,
of Thunder
by the way.
recently? Because it is.
Not in a long time.
Oh my gosh! First of all, it's way better than I remember. It is way better than I remember, and the reason is Robert Duvall. Robert Duvall is gold in that movie. But when you watch,
Is that Tony Scott? Or am I just mixing up that people who directed racing movies also directed Top Gun?
that was Tony Scott. That is correct, Pat.
Ooh.
Okay,
You
so
win
there we
again.
go. Joseph
wow,
Kaczynski
working.
is he did reverse Tony Scott.
Yes, exactly right.
So that's pretty fun.
That's pretty fun. So the guy who directed Top Gun Maverick then went on to go, 100%. Oh, by the way, and guess who produced Days of Thunder?
I would also go into the
Jerry Bruckheimer.
Jerry Bruckheimer. Of course, it's Jerry Bruckheimer who did it.
I would also go into the hot take area and say that the only redeeming quality about this and Maverick is the supporting actors Javier Bardem and Val Kilmer. Only reason I would have watched these movies.
I don't.
One I had to
I
watch
don't know.
F1.
Javier was the least Javier in this movie I've ever seen. I was
Yeah,
kind of.
I guess I would
like,
say Carrie was also a
I
good
think Carrie
reason
was
to watch
great.
it.
Yeah,
But-
she's spunky.
They were underutilized, but they tried.
Yeah.
They got their paycheck.
They brought
It
what
was
they
a Brad Pitt movie, and it was a Brad Pitt movie. That's all we gotta say
Yep.
about that. It was. We were driving. Brad Pitt wanted his Tom Cruise movie, and he got it. He got his Days of Thunder.
Well,
Exactly.
because Javier Bardem's wife is Tom Cruise's ex. Maybe that's why he wasn't invited to this one.
Awkward. I didn't know that. You know more. You know all the fun stuff.
Oh, I
around
know
it.
all the
Penelope.
juicy secrets.
Oh, that's so good.
Don't you remember when the Cruises were dating?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's weird. Okay, Hollywood, you're weird.
What movie were they in together?
I don't
Vanilla
know.
Sky?
Vanilla Sky makes sense. Yeah,
I think so.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. Also, I watched Days of Thunder, and I kept thinking, man, Talladega Nights is so much funnier right now. Talladega Nights is so freaking funny.
Good movie.
After you watch Days of Thunder, it's insane. It is almost
They
like
use so
plot
much.
point to
Yeah.
plot point to plot. It is, mwah, it is just and you forget how, because there's such a long time in between the two movies that it's just oh my goodness. I think there's an Australian NASCAR driver, and someone asked them, "What's the most surprising thing about driving in NASCAR?" And he says, "You know that movie Talladega Nights?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, that's a documentary. That is not a comedy." That is 100%. He's like, because there's a NASCAR driver who actually bought the house that Will Ferrell's character was that Ricky Bobby lived in. Anyways, back to Formula One, aka Days of Thunder with a higher budget and nicer cars, which is crazy because we thought those cars were fast back in the 80s. So I guess it was 1990, but there we go. Formula One. This movie is entertaining. And this is a hard thing to do. We are this podcast is for us trying to be snobby. And here we go with the big box office, big production. Watch Brad Pitt because he's good looking and enjoy this movie because it's well done. And it's all of those things. And it's hard because we've seen these actors and actresses do some really hard acting work. So it's kind of fun. This is a ridiculous thing to say. It was kind of fun to see him just get paid to kind of show up and be kind of like buddy to Brad Pitt and like flirty with Brad Pitt. So that's kind of fun to think, you could do like these kind of fun, like whatever movies. But the part that most upset me was that Damson Idris should have been more of the focus. He didn't change as much as you think he should. Because it was so much about Brad Pitt's character.
He just wasn't known enough for us to care.
Well, and they didn't give him the girl. They didn't give him.
They had a girl. For him.
Did they?
Yeah.
What happened?
She did promotional. She did all the promotional stuff.
One of the Bridgerton girls. Yeah.
And they cut her.
Yeah.
And then cut it for time.
She didn't. Her mom's cool. His mom's cooler anyway, isn't it? Because I think it was between maybe her and the mom, like whatever storyline they were gonna keep.
Interesting, and I think because it was
you keep Ted Lasso's therapist,
Yeah. She's so good. Yeah, she's the best. I was so excited to see her in it.
Nice job. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, so that was her. Yeah.
Well, my first thing I wrote was like, did Brad Pitt have an arc? And
not really.
Was it a good storyline for Carrie Condon?
Yeah.
It's sort of like the characters. There's not a lot to what the movie is. No one really has to change. I guess you say the young driver matured.
Yeah, he learned how to do things better.
But that maybe could have happened with time. It just had to be all condensed because he was going to be out if the season didn't go well.
Can I say one more tangent real quick?
Yeah.
You know how Brad Pitt and Robert Redford are the same person?
In some ways.
This is Brad Pitt's up close and personal.
Okay.
That's my hot take.
Just mailing it in. Just being himself.
You're kind of old, and but you're still great.
How old was Robert Duvall in Days of Thunder versus Brad Pitt in this movie?
Oh, that's a good one, Pat. I like that a lot. I would, if they were the same age.
Well, they're not the same person.
Well, yeah, one's always been a sex symbol and always will.
And one's always bald.
And he was bald from the beginning.
He was 59 in Days of Thunder released.
And Brad Pitt's pretty darn close.
Pretty darn close.
Late 50s?
Brad Pitt. How old are you, Brad Pitt?
62.
Stop.
Brad Pitt is older in F1 than Robert Duvall was in freaking Days of Thunder. Are you kidding me now?
This
is bonkers.
Dumb. This is the biggest.
That is bonkers.
This is the biggest news I've ever heard in my life.
That's wild.
That's like when you realize some of the Golden Girls were like 50.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm older than Blanche. I don't know.
And also, Carrie Condon is 43.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah.
I mean, Brad Pitt doesn't look his age.
No, he don't.
But
he don't look 63.
It is.
I think
It's
kind of
wild.
So to help.
I don't know.
Classic Hollywood.
That is
Putting
insane.
a 20-year younger
Brad
lady
of course.
with
was
our lead.
61 years old when he filmed this thing. Maybe 60. And Robert Duvall was how old when it came out?
59.
59. So Duvall was 58 or 57 when they filmed Days of Thunder. That is insane.
It's kind of wild.
Okay.
Kind of wild.
Yeah.
And he was the old pit guy. He wasn't even the old driver. He was because no one's.
Because nobody comes back after 30 years.
You're saying this movie is not realistic?
So okay, I'm gonna jump into.
I don't know anything about F1, but I know that that's impossible.
I really don't either.
No,
but
it's true. It's ridiculous.
He did
drive a car.
He did drive
a car.
He did drive a lot of hours in the car.
Yes, but he was not
and went
hard
pretty
Gs
fast.
That normal Formula One drivers are doing. Okay, let's talk about.
I believe the back injury more than his ability to drive a car.
Can I dork out and be mad at the movie for Formula One reasons now? Are you guys ready for this?
Yep.
Nap time.
Yep.
Okay, bye, Mariah. Okay. The premise of this movie is the most frustrating for Formula One drivers because it says if you don't win a race, then we don't keep going. You know how many teams never win a race? Most of them, every single year. There's only like 3 or 4 teams that win a race.
Like they had to place in like the top 10.
Yeah, and he did that. Brad Pitt. So this is the crazy part. Doing the plot, if we'll call it that. Brad Pitt gets in the top 10 like every single race he's in, basically, except for the ones where he crashes out, which he would totally be penalized 2 or 3 races for, or whatever.
But I think they said they had to win one of them.
Yes, which is not true.
Well, eventually they did.
No, they said from the beginning. Mariah's correct. The plot says if we don't win, we're
first
out.
Wikipedia says they had to win one.
I've watched it twice.
They had to place.
Not because
they
I
had
liked
to place in like the top 10 or like
find it.
The ownership group or whatever would have basically forced a sale because like you're being incompetent. Javier Bardem. So that was more for Javier Bardem, and then it became, if you don't win,
unless they win one of the 9 remaining Grand Prix of the season, his investors will sell.
The rule it changed on him because that was the big thing. With again, my favorite.
Well, this is also Wikipedia that I'm reading from.
Oh yeah,
but like the first time he gets them to place is a big plot point because it's like, they placed in the top 10 and they had to do
points.
that.
First time you get points
or whatever. And then then it became you got to win for reasons.
Even though according to the plot, points have nothing to do with it. You have to win,
which makes no sense because points has everything to do with it in the real world.
So they threw the points into there.
So points is like if a team like a midfield team or a low team, like if they're the worst team on the grid. And they get a point, that's a big freaking deal because it's millions of dollars.
Yeah, there's not like relegation in F1, right?
Well, it's not relegation, but it's more of how much money you get next year for winning. And the prizes are so much more each point. So the difference
like
between...
Ted Lasso.
Yeah. No, Ted Lasso's relegation. They actually can lose and go to a lower league.
Well, that's what, I would say, like,
that's different. Yeah.
Could
do you go from F1 to NASCAR?
Whoa, no one drops that far.
I don't know the difference. Money.
Gerard, what's his face? He came to beat the best.
Yeah, well, because Formula One is so they did a little test. Formula One has the most tech by far. Like, there's no car that has as much tech as a Formula One on the planet.
No sponsor has as much money.
Yeah, it's the richest sport. It's the snobbiest sport. They'd only allow 10 teams. NASCAR, I don't even know how many cars are on the field at a time. I think it's different every race. But there's only 20 cars on the track at a time. There's only 10 teams. They've said no. They said no to Cadillac for like 10 years before they finally they said no to Andretti. Someone who's actually won at Formula One and NASCAR and Le Mans, and he's won like everything he won. And they said no to him like
he's a video game.
And they said no to him like he's a bum on the street. Like they didn't, and until they got
out of here.
Cadillac, until they agreed to use Ferrari engines for the first couple of years. Like, no, Formula One is the most exclusive auto club on the planet with the richest drivers. Like, I remember this is my first like introduction to Formula One because I didn't even know who Michael Schumacher was in the 90s. But I remember looking up who's the highest paid athlete, and I expected it to be like Michael Jordan at the time. And then this guy named Michael Schumacher was the top paid athlete on the planet. And I'm like, who the heck is Michael Schumacher? And then I realized, oh, there's this sport called Formula One where you have you have these $1 billion cars and you have these drivers who are making $20 million a year before, basketball players were. And I was like, what is going on?
Is another one of the plot holes the fact that there's a woman on a team?
No, actually, there's women.
Or is this
That's based off a real person.
Okay,
they actually have several women
That's nice
drivers.
to know.
Actually, women. Oh, I wonder if it's the gal from Williams. Anyways,
There's actually an Irish person.
Is it Berta? Tell me it's Berta. Anyway, she's an announcer now, so I know.
I'll find it.
The Formula world is so small. Like I kind of know the last like 50 years just from my last 5 years of being a fan, because you can kind of get in deep really quick because there's so few teams. I know because like I was joking, I know more about Formula One than I know about my favorite football team
or his children
or my children for that matter, because there's just less people involved in like there's all the drivers, so you can figure out the driver lineup from the last.
It's like
10
Real
years.
Housewives,
Pretty easy.
but it's
So let's I'm gonna shift gear before I jump back into it because my favorite scene is actually an F1 kind of insider scene that was kind of fun. What was your favorite scene of the movie? Favorite scene?
the ending credits.
Bernie Collins.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I called it.
Is
It's Bernie.
inspiration.
That's so funny. I'm gonna tell Jared.
Yeah.
My buddy. So she's an announcer now for Formula One. So you'll hear not every race, but she's usually the inside the garage talking about what's going on. And she's got a pretty thick Irish accent.
Person.
And yeah, anyways, there's a lot of love.
There you go.
A lot of
That's why Carrie Condon.
Not love for her as well. So that makes
Yeah, well,
anyways.
classic.
That's so great. It's Bernie. I love that so much because she's not as polarizing as like Danica Patrick, who doesn't know what she's talking about, but she is polarizing as she's because she actually knows what she's talking about and she's very informed and very she knows exactly what's going on the grid. But she also has a very thick Irish accent, which is kind of funny to hear. It's so international. The fun thing about Formula One is it's so international, and like it's everyone kind of accepts it as the same thing. So favorite scenes, Pat. I know you have one. I know I have one ready.
Yeah, I have one, and it's related to people who know about F1 not liking this movie as much. Is Brad Pitt continually clipping cars to get the safety car out?
100%
to get them.
Oh my gosh, you've been kicked out of the race immediately.
Yeah, and apparently there was a scandal where somebody did this, and it was called Crashgate.
Please,
and
who was it?
2 people got banned from the sport for life.
Who was it? Who was it?
Oh,
I'll look it up. That's so funny.
Crashgate
F1. Here we go. Renault. Of course, it's Renault. Nelson Piquet Jr.
Yeah.
And Fernando Alonso?
Flavio
that makes so
Briatore
much
and
sense.
Pat Simons
that's
were
so
banned.
Funny. Okay, that brings me to my favorite moment in the movie, which is the opposite. It's the F1 insider stuff.
Oh,
Which is like,
but yeah, no, that had like the Bull Durham-y charm, kind of playing dirty but being smart. It just appeals to me on a visceral level with a sports movie. So that was the one where I just because he's like whoops or whatever, like just like that could have been a scene in Talladega Nights. It sort of felt like that level of silliness in a way.
Yeah.
But
the one Bull Durham moment that I thought was actually legit was the being slow on the starting thing where all the other tires get cold. I'm like, that's actually okay. You can kind of get away with that one. But the clipping of the cars, I'm like, dude, you get fined so fast. Obviously, Piquet.
Well, yeah, it's incredibly dangerous to do that.
Millions and your
Nudge
team,
people.
if you're a bottom ring team, you can't afford to have that many like wings knocked off. Like that's like a couple $100K every time you do that.
Yeah.
So that's funny. So my favorite moments were these little like kind of like winks to the Formula One fans One was Fernando Alonso, which is so funny you bring up Crashgate because he was in it, and that was in 2008. Fernando Alonso's still driving, and he's like the oldest man on the grid right now. He's like my age, and he's still driving Formula One. He's not Brad Pitt old, but he's like, he raced with Schumacher.
He's
he
not
raced
60.
Yeah,
but
he's in his 40s, and he raced with all the legends back in the day when he was a rookie, and he's won the championship 3 times. But so when Brad Pitt came back, there's this one moment where Fernando Alonso walks by. And Brad Pitt and him both give like oh, hey, man, good to see you again. It's been a while. Because, like, they're both old school. And Fernando Alonso, like, retired for a few years, and then he got brought back. So we always joke, like, Fernando Alonso's, like, the new rookie at 45. He's just going to keep going.
Tom Brady.
Yeah. He's like, exactly. Didn't leave his wife, though, like Tom Brady. I love that you left your wife for an 8-8 season. Anyways, that was the best part of that one. The other one was when Brad Pitt was crashing, and then they came up with this guy named Kevin Magnussen. And Kevin Magnussen is famous in the F1 world for not giving any space. And if you try to crash him, he'll crash you. So it was like the unmovable force for the unstoppable, the heart. Yeah, it was so good because I'm like, yep. K-Mag will not, he'll put you in a wall immediately. And all of us are like, oh, it's so good. So those are the two like shout outs to the F1 fans. We're like, I see what you did there. That's hilarious. But then they didn't include the most important part of a freaking race, which is qualifying. Not once did they talk about qualifying, except that they did bad in qualifying, which all of us Formula One fans knew what it was, but they don't even like explain it to like, it was like an introduction to Formula One, but not really. Because they had this whole scene where like,
it's just like
we have another set of tires.
And...
Did you notice in the last race, Mariah, there's like, we have one more set of tires than everyone else. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember why?
Because they had the wrecked car they had to fix.
Nope, because they did bad in qualifying. So they didn't get into P2 and P3 in qualifying. See, I
don't even remember why.
Yeah, because they didn't explain it. I mean,
I thought it was because they had 10 extra minutes, so they didn't have tires to change.
Not explained, but see, Formula One, you do qualifying, and so you have 3 rounds of qualifying. So the irony is you have to use your tires, and you only have a certain amount of tires you're allowed for the race. So if you use your tires in all 3 qualifying races, like you use new tires and new tires and new tires, then you have less tires for the actual race. But in some races, it's really important to be ahead of the grid because it's just hard to pass in some races. Like Monaco, it's the worst race ever known, even though it's the most famous, because you can't pass there anymore because the cars are too big. But other races, like there's more chances to pass. So, sometimes even if you get in trouble and you don't qualify in the top 10, you can still do some damage because you have an extra set of tires. Anyways, a lot of strategy, not explained, and it doesn't make sense. Brad Pitt starting P22 every time and still winning and still getting points is insane. If you did that, you would be given a Ferrari contract the next year. What Brad Pitt did, starting in last place and getting into the top 10, multiple races in a row, would have been, you are the best driver on the grid for doing that well. That's how good that would be. Like he would literally have been offered almost any team he wanted by doing that well. And so that's how hard it is in Formula One. Because if you can go up 5-7 places in a race, you are so good and you will get snatched up by a top tier team immediately. So for him having to win a race, I'm like, that's a joke because obviously Red Bull's going to have a better car than you, or because the thing about Formula One is it's not equal. Certain cars are better than other cars. It's not like IndyCar and NASCAR where they're the same car. It's like a science project with the best drivers in the world on there. So like, no offense to Lewis Hamilton.
It's soapbox derby, or it's
soapbox derby with the drive.
Yeah, or what do you make the little cars? I never did it because I wasn't in Boy Scouts or whatever. It's sort of like soapbox derby, the little wooden car.
Yes,
you're not supposed to weight them.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Dottie did this year. It was hard. We didn't do so well. But that's the thing about like the like I remember like for example this year there was a driver who was on a lower team, but he got points like almost every other race, which is top 10. That's all he had. And then he immediately got upgraded to a top tier team because that's so hard. So Brad Pitt doing what he did on the lowest tier team, everyone would have offered him a contract, not just XP. So it's just like, yeah, you're that good on that car. That's insane. And then, of course, you can't drive as aggressively as they do, so they try to make it more like NASCAR. Because NASCAR, you can drive more aggressively. You touch each other in F1 and something's broken. So, yeah. So those are my little favorite moments and worst moments all at the same time. So there we go. A little too
It's
much
called the
hate.
Pinewood Derby.
Pinewood Derby. There you go, Pat. You got there.
Remember.
You got there.
Yeah.
Mariah, do you have any favorite
Mariah?
moments?
You know,
Credits?
I think yeah, for sure credits. I think the part that I remember was what maybe amused by was the evolution of Brad Pitt's street clothes. You know, you kind of start off in like the weird ratty shirts and stuff that he probably looked the best in, and then you get to the point where he's like in a terry cloth, like majorly colored, open chest, cream colored thing, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like this
he
is
got
him
civilized a little bit.
Yeah. I think that was horrifying and entertaining at the same time. Maybe.
That's
great.
Yeah. There was, some smirks, I suppose. Carrie
Do
riding
you not
the
find him
bicycle and
charming?
getting past him. Of course.
Yeah.
He's so charming.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And you go, yeah, that's why you're a movie star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
he has the movie star quality. Nope.
And there's not really any cast members that I didn't like in it.
Yeah, good
particularly. It's just, man, this movie is just the most predictable sports movie equation ever.
Yeah.
It's for love of the game.
I think
It's Bull Durham. It's Maverick.
I think that's good in some ways, but yes, it is.
By the way,
It's
I watched it
predictable.
twice before I knew it was nominated. So that just shows you, as much hate as I had for it, I was like, I want to watch it again, kind of see how, like.
Yeah, it's like zoom. Like, let's watch this. Also, I don't know or care about F1. I don't think I'll ever become an F1 fan. When I found out it was in a Best Picture nom, I was like, great, I have to watch F1 now. Not that I'm like, oh, I wasted my time watching Wicked. I would have watched it no matter what. But
That's where you and I differ.
Yeah.
yeah,
F1
right? You would have been, if Wicked had been the upset, you'd be like, oh gosh, I have to watch Wicked for good.
We already did, so it's fine.
It's too late.
Too late
F1 airs too early in the morning live for me to ever be a fan.
Every Sunday morning at 5 a.m. I'm awake. You know why I'm awake though?
Yeah,
Because my kids
no
are already
way.
awake. My
Yeah,
kids
you
are.
might
I'm
as well
already
watch
awake,
it.
so I might as well watch it. You know, I'm
Yeah.
already awake, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
I
Yeah.
will say it's not a hard movie to watch.
Yeah.
I
It's very
appreciate that
watchable.
it was,
Yeah. Oh, easy watch.
I
Much-
could have
very-
written the
yeah.
script as I was
Arguably-
watching and not been wrong. Like
Arguably, one of the easiest movies to watch this year that is nominated. To be honest, like that's
yeah,
for
it's
sure.
not hard.
No. Do we think this will win anything?
No.
Okay, Pat.
Well, it's nominated for picture,
Mm-hmm.
film editing, sound, and visual effects.
Visual effects, maybe, but I don't know.
It probably won't win any of them, but sound or visual effects,
yeah, sounds could be.
maybe.
'Cause
Yeah,
they-
maybe so.
I think it's hard.
yeah, they invented stuff for it.
It's hard for a movie where visual effects are all like the cars to beat out movies where visual effects are characters and creatures and stuff.
I mean,
think.
they did take the way they morphed stuff into it. Like they had to change the whole livery, the whole colors of the car, and like for example.
Yeah, I mean they did the
scenes that are-
Maverick thing,
Yeah,
Like
where
the way
it's
they
a
made
real
that,
plane flying and then they cover it in a fake plane
Yes,
to match
exactly
whatever
right.
they want.
the
Exactly
way
right.
they made that picture of Javier Bardem and Brad Pitt when they were younger. That was
Those are
like,
always
I
so
wondered
bad.
if they were really on a racing team together.
I can't. There's so many movies, and you're like, you have so much budget, and it just looks like some intern had like 20 minutes in Photoshop. It's like
And
make
blending
this
pencil
look
that
good,
just went
and it's like their face.
the
Somebody's
hair,
face is always like weirdly
the
angled,
hair
and
is
you're like,
so bad.
what is happening?
Well, and the
It was
picture of
bad.
him and his dad too. It's like, who had that picture on them and was just like, well, let's just use this one.
I got one in my car.
Yeah.
Quick, use that one. Oh, that's funny. Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. Well, I'm not saying
I have some fun facts, very quick fun facts.
Oh yeah, fun facts. Here we go.
You want to hear a quick one?
Sure.
There's a bunch of camera stuff that they sort of used.
Yep.
Top Gun Maverick. A lot of footage. There's like
Yep.
800 hours of footage. It's sort of like what was that good but horrifying Holocaust movie we watched?
Oh my gosh. Zone of
There's
interest.
just lots. Zone of interest. Thank you. It's sort of a zone of interest
Still
level of
so
footage
Yeah.
and editing to deal with. Carrie Condon apparently learned how to shuffle a deck of cards like a pro, and then they only showed a close up of her hands
Because she didn't have to
and
read
not
the script,
a full
so
body
she
shot.
She had a lot of
That's
time
so
on her
funny.
hands.
All that for nothing.
So she was kind of bummed about that. They did drive. Downson and Brad did drive speeds up to 180 miles per hour. I think Brad Pitt's top speed was like 197.
Nice.
Which is very fast. That's pretty fast.
Formula 2 cars, not Formula 1 cars, but still pretty impressive.
Very fast.
Very impressive.
That's fast.
And then the Simone Ashley is the name of the actress who probably was the love interest and didn't make the cut of the movie. That's a bummer.
So
she
crazy.
was Jonathan Bailey's
idea.
love interest from that season of Bridgerton.
And then the past accident Brad Pitt had was real footage of Martin Donnelly's accident in 1990 Spanish Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So they just subbed that in. So that's pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
There you go.
That is nuts. That's because that's when F1 was just so many injuries, so many people
Wild
died.
West.
Like it's now it's really
Including
safe.
fans, right? I mean, just every now and again there's fan horror as you fly over railings and things.
Well, yeah, not for years, but in the old days.
But back in the day.
When did F1 start?
50s. Well, okay. So modern F1.
Just a year. Just a year is fine.
It's not as clear as a year. Sorry, that's because it's open wheel racing, and then the F1 Federation was like the 50s. So like it's like do you count the original open wheel racing, and then F1 actually included like Indy 500 for a while. So there's actually Indianapolis was like the one F1 race that like Americans would enter, and so it's not as clear cut as that. So sorry.
Okay.
It's a more.
I believe the first race they kind of claim is 1950 though, with precursors a little bit ahead of that.
Yes, so it's like that's like when it started, but then there was stuff before that. But the actual Formula One, because the Formula One refers to the formula that all the cars have to follow. And
just like sports movies.
Sure, but it's different than IndyCar because IndyCar, like you actually, they're the same cars basically. You can't change them like you can in Formula 1.
That's I mean, I'm a baseball fan, so I shouldn't care as much about standardization, considering bats and balls and stadiums and gloves are all different. But there is something odd about that variable stuff, and I guess like the rich getting richer. It's sort of like.
It's a tech. It's as much tech
sort
as
of a
you
weird
can.
one.
It's like whatever little wind. Like they will hide. They don't want their car to get picked up because they don't want the other teams to see what their undercarriage looks like, and they don't want to. And they do weird paint jobs so the other teams can't see how they're changing their fin, and they're all just trying to like not break the rules but bend them as far as they can and get away with them.
Yeah.
And it's just
I mean, I kind of like that.
It's kind of fun. So
do you think anyone has ever said we're going to build these cars for combat? Do you think anyone's ever said that?
I'm sure in the 70s they did.
What?
I mean, it's kind of a tough line.
I bet Kevin.
Like that.
I bet Kevin Magnuson said it. If anyone did it, K-Mag did. So
yeah,
that's it. That's pretty great.
But yeah, F1.
Yeah,
Oscar nom. Good.
It's
good for them.
It's our front runner to not win the Oscar at all. Oh my gosh! Here's the thing.
But it gets Brad Pitt to the ceremony.
Did Ford versus Ferrari get nominated?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one got nominated. So that makes me feel better because I'm like, that's still the best racing movie in the last 10 years.
It's a very good movie.
So
I still haven't seen it
because
it's a racing movie.
Yeah, but it's not a racing.
Not
movie.
really.
It's more of a like
a people movie.
Yeah, it's a people movie
with racing as the backdrop.
Exactly right.
Very good.
Very good. I watch that one all day, every day. So this is the best next installment of the Jerry Bruckheimer series known as Days of Thunder, Top Gun, Top Gun 2, and Days of Thunder 2. So thanks for watching, guys.
No argument.
Oh, anyways, it's fun. Way to go, F1. Way to put all your money in that advertising and making things happen.
Way to get on the list.
Way to go on the list. Way to buy.
Oh, one last
by
thing.
The way,
it's called F1 the movie.
Yeah.
Which is like so dumb.
Well, they can't call it F1 because it's too confusing.
I know, but it's so dumb. Like,
so
what a
dumb.
cheesy thing.
The search for more money.
It's so true. Oh, by the way, F1, this movie was so successful that Apple bought the rights to Formula One next year. So now I have to have Apple streaming to watch my Formula One races
All you
at
need
5
is
in the
new
morning
iPhone
now.
or something, and
It's
you got
the
it.
worst. So,
Oh, it gets you Slow Horses, and that's a great show. So
yeah,
I
that's
haven't
true.
watched that yet.
Yeah,
oh, that's great.
that's good.
Don't worry about watching F1. Watch Slow Horses, everybody.
Or Shrinking.
First of all, go to Netflix, watch Drive to Survive, and you'll then be a fan. And then
I bet not.
the fun thing about Drive to Survive, it was actual, like, it starts with the middle teams, and it doesn't start with, like, the winners. It just starts with the teams trying to get that 1 or 2 points.
Because they're driving to survive.
Yeah, and it's pretty great. And then, like, the legit part about that movie is the rookie not getting a seat next year. That was actually legit. Like, him not getting a seat next year was actually pretty true. Because if, like, he's bad and they don't think he's going to be good again, like, it's hard. There's only 20 seats on the planet. So there's only 20 drivers that can make it. So that's
pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy. So, anyways. Well, there we go.
None of them are 62 years old.
No, some of them aren't even 18. They're still like 18. They barely turn 18 on the grid. So you have these kids who don't even have driver's license yet from their countries, because their countries can't get driver's license till 18, who've been driving supercars since they were, like, from go-karts to supercars. So they have their supercar license, but they don't have a regular driver's license.
Weird.
Which is crazy. Also, if you win the championship, it costs like $1 million to get your supercar license the next year. It's just the numbers are crazy. You want.
That's a lot of
the
money.
best part is the superstars and the drama, because all their girlfriends are like supermodels, and you'll love that part, Mariah. I'm telling you. You just gotta start following the Instagram of the girlfriends of F1 drivers, and you'll be in. You'll be in. I'm telling you. By the way, much love to
It's very watchable. This
Williams.
movie. Very watchable.
You're gonna do well this year. New change. I'm going for you, Williams. Carlos Sainz, Alex Albon. You're going to do well this year. Sorry, that's my shout out. Okay.
Anywho.
If they want to sponsor us, they got a lot of money.
Right?
It's fine.
Hey, Williams.
Yeah, if you
throw
got
How to Be a
millions
Movie
of
Snob
dollars
on the
to
side of
throw
that.
around.
I know, right? Come on now. Alex Albon, come on the channel. Talk about Formula One. We'll be stoked. My name's Seth.
Mariah.
And
Oh. I thought you were going to point at me. You faked me out.
He's just pointing.
You knew it.
she was drinking mid-drink. I had to think of that. Anyways, guys, this is
Still
How to
don't
Be a
mind me.
Movie Snob Oscar Watch 2026 with the front runner or the back runner starting on the back of the grid.
Caboose.
The caboose. We'll call it P22 for Formula One, F1, the movie.
The
All right, guys.
movie.
Till next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.